Welcome back to the Smugsy Show. I'm Smugsy, your host. Every Wednesday we meet here to talk about important things and important people. This week it's Slava Ukraini and the art of losing. But first, a word from our sponsors, Smugsy Ciggies, sleek and elegant joint ciggies made with organic cannabis rolled in all natural, locally sourced paper. Look for Smugsy Ciggies in the pretty indigo and marigold packs. It's been 31 years since Ukraine declared independence from the Soviet Union. Slava Ukraini means glory to the brave people of Ukraine celebrating their independence today. It's been 6 months since the invasion by Russia of Ukraine. And who would have thought 6 months ago that Volodymyr Zelensky would still be in the ring with Vladimir Putin? We did. Who would have thought that Russia would be on the defense? We did. Russia, where if you call the invasion that has killed more than 40,000 people, hundreds of them children, if you call it a war, it's displaced 6.5 million people, refugees. If you say that's a war in Russia, you go to jail. Volodymyr Zelensky, former comedian. Fozzie Bear, beating Fancy Bear. He's in it for the long game. There's a counteroffensive. Ukraine is on the march to retake its territory, and we on the Smugsy Show want to raise a glass to the brave people everywhere who fight for freedom. Fighting isn't easy, whether it's in Ukraine or in West Virginia, where we saw last Friday night Barstool sports personality Alex Bennet beat the shit out of Ashley Wiles, known as Cupcake. Alex Bennet being the princess, Cupcake being the toothless tiger townie, got walloped. Clobbered. Her getting clobbered, Cupcake getting clobbered was the climax. The foreplay was Kirk Minihane. His blue suit popped. But Cupcake in 3 one-minute rounds didn't even throw a punch, just got completely thrashed. Battered, pummeled. So how is it that Kirk Minihane, who is the leader of the losing team, came out on top? How is it that he walked away the showman? Now he's a folk hero at Barstool. As I said, his blue suit popped. He really was making it happen during the fight. How is it that he came out on top? Because he's a good loser. He has a lot of practice losing. He's very familiar with what losers do because he's hanging around with losers all the time. That's his secret. He obviously lost a bet, though, because following the fight, he shaved his head and now is sporting that chemo cut that, is so bad. So bad. It's like, boy, his bubble burst. Getting back to losing, Cupcake, she hasn't quite mastered the art of losing. But she can. It's not too late. There's always time. You have to be in it for the long game. If you're a fighter like Zelensky, right? 6 months ago, nobody thought Zelensky would be in the ring as the comedian. Fozzie Bear versus Fancy Bear. Look where he is now. Cupcake? Can she come back? Sure, she can redefine herself. She can define herself. That's what we do here on the Smugsy Show. She can take that loss and turn it into a win. She can become pound cake. Because it's becoming that we're all here on this planet doing. I mean, that's what Kurt Vonnegut, okay, the author, he's dead now, but before he died, he wrote a letter to students. You probably heard about it. It's somewhat famous, 2006. He wrote a letter on what to do. And what he said was, you got to practice any art. Any art, music, singing, dancing, acting, sculpture, poetry, fictions, essays, not to make money and to be famous, no matter how good you are, how bad. You practice this art to experience becoming, to find out who you are inside, to grow your soul. So this acting on the Smugsy Show is me becoming before your very eyes. And acting is what Cupcake needs to do. She needs to act like a gracious loser, even though inside she's got sour grapes. She needs to act like she respects Alex Bennet. She'll learn a lot from this experience. That she's growing as a person, because if she acts the part, she will be the part. And think about acting and the Smugsy Show in relationship to, say, the Kirk Minihane Show. Okay, Cupcake got humiliated by Alex Bennet, and then humiliated herself further with that tweet where she said that it was bad. I mean, she said it's hard to defend yourself from someone holding your head down, hitting the top of your head, but she did what she had to do. I think Alex is a disgusting human being. On and on. Really kind of, tacky, low class, sour grapes. But it's not too late. She can act like a gracious loser, like we act here on the Smugsy Show, and her relationship to the Minifans, who absolutely cremated her following the race. Okay, they were all in Cupcake. They were all Team Cupcake. Before the fight, I said race, I meant fight. A race to the bottom. It was a race to the losing table for Cupcake. But the Minifans, they were all in until she lost. Then online, some of them, that's what they do. They come down hard, okay? It's not easy being a part of the Kirk Minihane Show. It's not easy being in relationship to this army of Minifans. I mean, one of them says, just, really didn't hold anything back. You were awful and dumb. No one wants to watch your sorry ass fight again. Another guy, you didn't throw a punch. No one wants to see you fight ever again. Go away. A lot of losers. I mean, they really, they came down hard. And Cupcake, needs to act like she doesn't care. She needs to redefine herself, write her own narrative. She needs to be pound cake, okay? Cupcake. Throw away the wrappers, the frosting. Be pound cake. The Smugsy Show in relationship to the Kirk Minihane Show, just to give you an example of how these things could work. I mean, that movie, Breakfast Club, 1985, coming of age. High school kids in detention for a day for having committed various offenses. The lineup being, an athlete, a criminal, a princess, a basket case. Well, Kirk, of course, is, John Bender, the guy played by Judd Nelson, the criminal that everybody loves, the bad boy. Everybody loves the bad boy. I mean, deep down, there's a soft spot for John Bender in the show, and in the end, he gets, the diamond earring and the kiss from the princess. And that's spoiler alert, but so that's the Kirk Minihane Show, right? That character, John Bender. And obviously the Smugsy Show, obviously, is that nerd, Brian Johnson, who's the brains, the tasked with writing the essay. That was the chore that they had to do in detention, is write an essay, like, who do you think you are? That's what the vice principal told them they had to do between 7:30 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon when they were in the library, supposedly. But really what they did was smoke a lot of pot and go around in a circle and unload the heavy burden of their high school souls, and in doing so discovered the shared humanity and new community that they embraced. And so I'm the nerd writing the essay and telling the Minifans, telling the people abused by the Minifans, or let's say rejected. Abuse is too hard a word. Each one of us is a brain, an athlete, a basket case, a princess, and a criminal, and I would add an artist. Each one of us. And the song that goes along with the movie The Breakfast Club by Simple Minds? Don't you know it? Na 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 na. So, Cupcake, be Pound Cake. Get back in the ring. Be in it for the long game. Be brave. Fight. Look for the diamond earring. Accept the kiss. That's it for this week's show. See you next week.